3CX 106.5 Milwaukee. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not reflect that of the staff and management of WNOV and W293CX 106.5 FM Courier Communications Milwaukee, but are the sole comments of the host and guest of this particular show.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Wisconsin Voices on a Monday morning. Be a voice with Wisconsin Voices. I am Tamika Vukovic, the co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices, and we have
Latoya Pippin, the
Now-
director of organizing and
now y'all wait a minute. So we're gonna go off top a little bit. We're gonna have to y'all need to go on the website. Y'all need to go on Facebook at 860 WNOV because we got Latoya Khan here. And I had to we was doing the Shaka Khan here today. We were in our staff meeting. I had to play I'm Every Woman because it was just something that I had to do. Well, welcome back. We have a show today that we're gonna concentrate on. We're really trying to get people to give us feedback. We really want people to call in, not necessarily about the election, about the issues that you want to hear about. You know, we might not be able to answer it today, but if you want to, what do you want to hear on a future show? We are going to start with our partners. We have our special guest. Well, not a special guest because he's part of our Wisconsin Voices, but he's rarely on the show. But we're going to be having our co-executive director, Tim Schindler, on with tomorrow's show on the 9th. So, but we really, really, really want to start talking to the community about the information you want, the people you want to see, the overall the community vibe, because this is the reason why we started the show, to inform, to let you know about our partners, to inform you on what you want to know, and then deep dive and get some accurate information for questions that you have. So we're going to start the conversation, but it's 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. I have a question for because it got brought up last week, and we were talking about what cities need or what we have, but there's that beer line trail, the trails, the walking trails, some of those other places. How in Glendale they're very important, you know, to them. But how important is it for the city of Glendale city of Milwaukee folks, to have bike trails that go for miles and miles, or to have those things, you know, making sure that the city is pedestrian friendly or bike friendly? I want to know. I want to know because it's different in every community, and it's probably different on each side. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. But I can also say that it's a lot of people that like to do biking with their kids.
Right.
That's what the trails is really about for them. Take them on like a nature biking.
But that's
and
what
being in a city, you don't tend to see as many nature areas. So having those bike trails where they can take their kids, I believe that's what a lot of people like the bike trails for.
But that's what I'm saying. It is the cost of it. I know the county puts a decent amount of money in it. Is the cost worth it to the people who are paying the taxes or not? You know,
Right.
there are questions that we do, and have we ever asked if they
Right.
want them?
Yeah.
Like we talk about, like the hop. The hop is, you know, something that is used, and I know there was controversy in regarding the hop, but
Every
Did
time
anybody ever ask?
we didn't want it. Nobody really wanted the hop. Actually, every time I've ever seen it, I've never seen no more than 5 people on it.
Well, it gets some use, but I'm not questioning or trying to judge one way or the other. I'm not saying we should have it, we should have it, should not have
Mhm.
it, but we have some of these things, and I don't remember anybody ever asking us if we wanted it or if we needed it. And that is, I guess, one of those things that we can talk about to our elected officials, like, I don't want this, I don't want to see this, or I do want to see something that we don't have. Like, for instance, one of the things that I am dying for Glendale to get is an escape room. You know, those escape rooms? I think those are fun. They both adults get on them, want to go into them. Kids like them. They're puzzles, but it's a couple like an hour or so of just using your brain, using your mind, trying to go through stuff, and you can keep your kids occupied for a while. Depending
Mhm.
on the level you could be. But I've always wanted an escape room in Bayshore. Hint, 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 Bayshore. I can't control Bayshore, but I really want to. I've been pushing for that forever. What are some of the other things you want to see? Like we have, I know there used to be Bounce, over on the south side, but do we have like why do we always have to go all the way to Waukesha to have some of those things? Waukesha County, south side of Milwaukee. Where is the Bounce House
Brown Deer, they got one. They got that one
in
in
the
Jumping Rock.
city of? But oh, guys, we got to introduce our other voice.
Hello, guys. This is Brian Sanders of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, working for Wisconsin Voices on the View Voice Radio. It's great to be here with you guys.
Ew.
Oh
You
my
don't like that one?
god.
All right, cool. I'll switch it up. Hello, this is Brian Sanders of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sound like some of those politicians that come
Ew,
through.
again.
Brian,
We Brian was he's taking
good
care
morning,
of
y'all.
business. But those are the things that we kind of we want to know. 414-444
414-444-5250.
see, that is why she's my right.
Like, what else could go in the Bayshore? You said the bounce? I mean, the escape rooms. I like the escape rooms. Even grown-ups can't even get out of escape rooms. I'm
But
one of them.
that's what I want in the city
I'm
for
one of them
people
too.
to like actually do, not
And that would
in
be
the
something
suburbs,
really
but it was
fun.
something fun that we could do in the city.
Hmm.
And why don't we court those type of places to come in, so it's something that we need.
Because if y'all can agree, I feel like when they do have stuff in the inner city, you have too much violent activities at those places
but
end up
but I know how sometimes people see that, but then
better.
we have to do better. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not blaming anybody, but maybe we have to do
Yeah,
better.
because you see that pattern when you go all across the country. I mean, you go to certain cities and they just got to control better. I think one thing in Milwaukee, why we have an issue, and I know they can do it.
That's our buddy.
When you got a club or lounge or anything, you'll see like law enforcement like in front of establishments in certain places, not on no aggressive stuff. They just put cops out there who actually have like the patience to deal with the crowds and understanding that you can't arrest somebody for yelling or doing something weird, but they out there to show like, hey, somebody get out of line. The
Mhm.
first thing that's gonna happen is either you gonna go to jail or it's gonna be some response.
So just having off-duty officers that are there to like not
Deter.
police
Yeah.
Hmm.
but deter. Like, there is law enforcement in
Hmm.
the y'all go in there, have y'all drinks, have a good
Hmm.
time. I'm not gonna mess with you not gonna
Hmm.
mess with me, and you gonna be able to deal with it. We have a caller. I think it's our favorite, one of our favorite callers. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Miss Tamika.
Good
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 morning.
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 Good morning, Miss Latoya, and
Good morning.
Brother Ryder, Brother Carvey, Milwaukee. Yes, Tyrone W. speaking. Very quickly, I didn't want to throw off the rail what you had the gentleman in the studio. Uh, uh, um, um, but speaking of people that we would love to hear from, just let me read this. Veteran teacher and mental health advocate calls for effective strategies to help students of color deal with mental illness. Uh, Chair of the NCAA Wisconsin State Conference, and Education Committee, Coaching LLC. So basically, what her name is, Dr. Tamika. Got two Tamikas in the Tamika's in the heart. Tamika L. Johnson. Yeah, get her in so she can elaborate more on that, especially after the earlier show there with Miss Bryan there talking about the 10-year-old boy there that killed his mother there.
And we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
that. Actually,
Right.
I think they're going to be talking about that on tomorrow's show a
Oh
little
yes,
bit.
ma'am. Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, but for whoever needs to get her in, we need to get this doctor in, Dr. Tamika as well, Tamika L. Johnson. So I would love to, for you to do, because the article came out of the Community Journal, so you all should have your pulse on, how to reach her and where she is over there to be able to get her in. But I would love to hear her elaborate more on, her article. I've got portions of the article, not the whole article, but portions of the article in my hand here, and it was a 2-pager there, or on 2 separate pages. But yeah, get her in, and I would love to hear. But I'm pretty sure the community would enjoy that as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good point. Good point.
But yeah, we have partners that work with us. We can, obviously she could possibly be invited on, but we also have partners that work with students in mental health and things, so we can actually bring them on as well. What else do we
That's
want to?
kind of part of it. I'm glad he mentioned that, but that's kind of part of the conversation on when we saying why don't we have these activities in the inner city? Because in the Black community, it is high that a lot of our people have suppressions, and they tend or trauma, and they tend to suppress it and blow up in different situations that make them feel like they're back in that place or in a place where they don't want to be. And that's how, as things escalate in our most of the time, I can't say all of the time, but most of the time when we have had these um attractions in the inner city, you have a lot of violence and fights and big fights where it be 4 or 5 groups of people fighting. And you
then
don't
that
want
turns
kids,
into the
yeah,
mob mentality,
and you don't
where
want
there's
kids to
just
see that, but you do want to see, like you said, like that escape room. That's just really like all of us sitting here like, man, I would love that, because I would be one that probably get stuck in there and they have to
I'm
well,
get
done.
me
I'm
out.
just
Y'all
thinking,
can have
like,
them. I'm done
instead
with
of,
it.
where the Walmart was, putting
Mhm.
an escape room there, or putting something community based there, where there is something that can be in and out, you can go in, arcade, something like that.
Mhm.
Or you can donate a building to Wisconsin Voices,
Voices.
and we could do that for
Mhm.
you. We're gonna
For
keep
real.
trying to do that until somebody give us a building. But
Because
but
we want to do
there's
that, but tell them why we want this building. We want it for the community. We want it to be a space where people can actually come, and it's a safe social space that they can actually um do
thrive.
thrive and do things and not
Mhm.
be overcharged for some. Oh, we're gonna charge you $1,000 for 2 hours for this room, or any of that.
And I know there's some organizations who have buildings who are working on that. I'm not saying that we are going to be the end all, and all of a sudden
Mhm.
we have come. We're not trying to invent the real wheel again. What we're trying to do is make another space, another option, another place. Um, when we when we talk about like the reason why we do want this building, how many places actually cater to teenagers up through 20, where they're and it actually is not closed at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock on weekends, where there's a place that they can go. I don't know if I ever talked about this. When I was younger, there was
We
dance. there
that
was
club up there
there was dance clubs that you could go
for
to for
teenagers.
teens,
Hmm.
and they were well secured. They had security guard there. Actually, they had armed security guard there.
Hmm.
So you really wasn't trying to play, but because people wanted to be there, they knew not to act up.
Hmm.
I think I'm a little older, so I think there was um the Attic West, and that was on Friday or Saturdays or something like that. There was Bailey's. There was one place downtown, I can't even remember. I think there was a place called Senior Frogs, and even though it was a regular bar, on a certain night that was a teen night.
Yeah, I had a couple
and they
when I
got
was
ready
growing up
to,
too.
just kick it and do what they needed to do.
Mhm.
But then we have issues where when the kids go to the parks or they roll out, they get kicked out at for amplified sound because they don't have a permit, and then all of a sudden they don't have a place to go. Where are they going? Idle Mind is a devil workshop.
Yep.
Let's take this caller. Caller, go ahead.
Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, thank you. Quick comment. One thing I've seen on the northwest side is that when it comes to the parks and such like, there's no real equipment. There are no goalposts. There are no baskets put up. There's
Jungle
nothing.
gyms. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then the other thing, real quick, is that on the northwest side, in particular, the street painters seem to have abandoned the area, especially at night. The bump outs and the islands that separate and split the lanes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they're in disrepair. Is the short version, because it's very easily, especially like on Locust and Fond du Lac, that intersection. There's a little island there in the middle, and it's almost invisible.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it in other parts of the city, but the short version is that we need our street painters out. One of the things, going back to what you said earlier about crime impacting a community, is that there's a direct correlation between income and what happens on the street as far as illegal activities.
Right.
Right.
So that was it.
And
But
that's why
especially,
and that's
go
one
ahead.
don't leave yet, but that's the one of the reasons why we want to have this affordable, or at least for us, where can we have affordable things that the community can do, that's not gonna be so deep into the pockets that you can't even afford to have fun at it. Look how much it costs to go to a movie that's not on the, I think it used to be $5 Tuesday, but now I don't even think it's
It's
$5
$6,
anymore.
right?
Yeah.
$6 was
Yeah.
tax.
And you gotta buy a popcorn or something.
Oh, so
or it's not.
you ain't just coming to
$5
hang
no
out and
more.
watch a movie no
No.
more.
So, sir, that I hear what you're saying, and I think, and it is a correlation between
Your environment.
crime and poverty.
But aside from that, watch this. I live on the north side. I've been here since 1990. The elected officials are supposed to meet with the people, other than the time when they send runners out to put the little tags on your door. There
Right.
should be an active engagement of communication so that the needs of the people are expressed to those that are supposed to be elected officials representing the people. The other problem with that is that, especially here in Milwaukee, I've seen there's a big turnout as far as saying, get out to vote, get out to vote, get out to vote. And I agree with that. But here's what happens, and here's what we generally ignore. Once a person is in office, it doesn't matter which party they're in, they're not just taxing or representing their party, they're representing everyone in the community. And so as a result, since everybody and his brother has a phone, whoever's in office, we should be able to hold them accountable. I know in my particular area, I called my alderman well over a year ago and have never gotten a response. So the thing about accountability as far as elected official, that's definitely something that can be worked on. And it doesn't have to be every 2 or 4 years. It can be every day of the week. Should there be a need that should be addressed? Because when it comes to the question of raising taxes, where's the accountability to where I can say, well, what have you done with what you've already taken?
And
You got a
you
good
are
point.
exactly correct. And those conversations start. And by the way, those conversations start in June, July, August, September, because they start putting the budgets together now. They're starting to so those conversations can be happen. One of the reasons why we have this show is to make sure that after we interview these people, when they come on, when they get elected, now we're going to ask them in a little bit okay, what did you do now that you're elected? We're going to take a short break, come back, take a phone call. This is Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices, 860 WNOV.
That's true.
We're going to take this caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
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 Yes. First thing I wanted to say, just as well as you can vote these politicians in, vote them out.
Yeah.
Be the penicillin to this thing called syphilis, because if you don't, it will grow in stages. Look at our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And the comments and view. No, just kidding. Yeah, and the person had a valid point that we have to hold people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not trying to do their jobs, if they you can't be reached, um, then, you know, ask them the question when it's time to go vote again. If they can't answer, but you have to have some solid evidence. You have to say, be able to prove your point. Like, this is what I did. I called this day, this day, this day, this day. And don't wait until the last minute. Like, literally, if you call us and say, I have this. This is a track record of this. I've, give me your information. And then we'll call them up and say, hey, we have a constituent of yours who said they've called here, and here. They didn't get any response. Can you reach out to them? Can you come on and explain what's going on? Whatever it is, we're really
And
trying to make this radio show a community voice as well as community or civic engagement.
And because I see it often on different parts of the city and places where you can host your own community meeting. You can invite those local representatives, whether they come or not. You and your neighbors can have that conversation on what's the issues in your community that y'all want change, come up with solutions. Then that's the biggest proof to going to your representative is we had a community meeting, we invited you wasn't able to attend, but this is what we came up with for our community. We got to start holding ourselves as well as our elected officials accountable.
And if you have a group of people who want to do that and you need to help putting it together, call Wisconsin Voices.
Yes.
We'll be willing to help you navigate that. We can show you how to advocate for your own neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
and what you do, because that's something that's part of what we do. Um let's go back to something our Mr. Rideout said.
Mhm.
Um, when we were talking about why we don't have things, you made a comment
Yeah.
that may resonate with people, may not resonate with people. What was your comment?
Well, I said it's merely that they're looking for a reason to shut it down, and if we give them a reason, then they have a legit
Mhm.
reason to do what they're doing.
So let's put this in context. We were talking about like the different bars that are in the city or the different clubs or whatever, and an incident happens.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's, one incident, sometimes it's a bunch of minor ones, but they get shut down.
Yeah,
Or, but the same exact things happen like on Water Street,
yeah,
where they have incidences almost, on the weekend
yeah,
daily, but none of those bars have ever,
yeah,
Mhm.
especially the ones right by Juno,
yeah,
Water
Mhm.
Street, they have never had
Their
their
license
license
took.
questioned or anything.
Mhm.
It could be because where they don't have a lot of residents, so the
Mhm.
residents aren't. I'm just saying the residents are complaining. It might be other businesses, but eh, eh, what is it? What does it look like? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you look on Water Street, we had the club. It was called Ladybug, but now it's called something else.
And that was down
Element.
a little further on Third.
Yeah, it was it went Ladybug 618. 618 is
618.
my area, then 618 was my area.
Yeah,
Then Element is like the ones that's now 28 and younger, but
yeah,
older groups still throw events there. Like I think one of the fraternity groups is having a big party there this coming up weekend.
yeah.
Brian
So,
hits me with that.
so
one.
with that
What?
joint there,
My
now
Lord, yo.
because the majority of those clubs in that area, it was black, people was going to that. So the first incident that happened, whether it was a fight or argument or something, it was the whole thing. Oh, let's shut it down. It's ruining downtown and whatever. But I know of some incidents personally that has happened on Juno of of a young man getting shot by a white man that they was into it. He got shot. He lost his life, and that joint is still open.
It happens down there all the time, where it don't be the owners
Yeah.
that the incident don't be the owners,
Right.
but it be people
Yeah.
patronizing that establishment
Yeah.
and go out and have it's been plenty of shootings down
Yeah.
there, and they never once consider closing though, which I don't want you to.
Right.
I just don't want you to close every
Ours.
time something
Yeah.
happened in the inner city. We're thinking of, oh, like you said, first excuse. Oh,
Yeah.
nope, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
We got to close them down. How about that was an incident.
Mhm.
If we continue to have these incidents every week, then I would see.
Right.
But just don't make it one incident is
Yeah.
the excuse on why you're closing.
One of the things that you can call and it's weird because it's called a nuisance if they become
Yeah.
a nuisance.
Yeah.
And what people do is they'll call on minor little things, but
Mhm.
the police will come, like somebody is they having an argument in front of the bar and one of the neighbors like call. If you get enough of those, even though it technically doesn't have anything to do with the
Mhm.
actual
Yeah.
establishment of them doing their job, but it's
Yeah.
just people leaving, having a conversation too loud, or littering,
Yeah.
or whatever it is around the area, the neighbors will call. And then if you get enough of them, it becomes a nuisance place, even though the establishment hasn't done necessarily anything, and you can't control what people do on the street. I could technically go walk down the street screaming at the top of my lungs at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm gonna get a ticket for
Yeah.
something, but
Disorderly conduct.
but
Yeah.
it's not gonna
Or
it's
disturbing.
not
Being a
gonna be
nuisance.
related to
Mhm.
the business that I'm in front of or whatever.
So for me, I was riding up Capitol, and I tend to do this a lot. But the Walmart that's in Midtown,
That
over
was
towards
there.
that was there, that empty building, and I ride past there, and I say I would love to see something here for the inner city kids, whether it's like a skating ring slash arcade slash something that you can employ people, give them jobs in that building that's been, it's just sitting there
Sitting
with the
there.
parking lot wide open, and it's something that you can utilize. Like you could put a skating ring,
So
arcades, movies,
I
and
believe
My
all type of
daughter
stuff.
wanted to do that. She did and got
Wow.
excellent credit. She wanted to put a youth like
Yeah,
arcade
yeah, yeah,
slash like rock climbing
yeah,
a event place
yeah,
for kids, and then at late evenings she wanted to make it like a teenage club where
yeah,
they can learn how to socialize and
yeah,
hang out with each
yeah,
other without drinking.
yeah,
And and the parking lot was big. She had this whole big idea, and we talked to the alderman over there, Randy. They don't want to open that building to the black
That's like a
public.
million square feet or
Yeah.
half a
so.
million
It
square
I
feet.
think so. I believe, and don't quote me, but I believe it's still under the lease of
is it?
the
Walmart.
Walmart.
I,
I
I
believe, or the people who own it.
I know they said they wasn't selling the building, and they wasn't interested in opening it up, or subleasing to somebody else, because we wanted the parking lot too.
Yeah,
All these young kids had they
yeah,
nice flipped out cars
yeah,
somewhere where they can come and have their little car shows and hang out. I've been to LA,
yeah,
and man,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they kick it
yeah.
there, and they have drama
But it's a different
sometimes.
culture still though
But
too
they
here.
have drama
Yeah.
sometimes, and they have more gangs than
Yeah,
than
but
we here.
it's just a different
But they
culture.
still let them have fun and
Yeah.
kick it. And
I don't know what y'all see, what I don't be seeing. They be removing cats in Los Angeles, California. I got folks, they pull up, they call them meets, they exit and close them meets down. They don't like big populations of minorities hanging out, and usually somebody got a pistol and somebody usually messing up. Midtown it happened. I
But
got a
did
cousin
you
that
wait
got
a
shot
minute?
up
But
there.
did you know
because I
that
done been to a couple of them
Yeah.
where
It's
we
different.
hung out and kicked
But it's the
it
different type of
hours
crowd
it
though.
talking
depends on where
about
it is?
Yes.
Do you know
it was in
by
LA.
when I took? I think it's two. I think it's three. Let me take that back.
Sunset Boulevard.
There are three. If three people are congregated together, that could
Yeah.
be considered a gang,
Yeah.
Right.
and in the city of Milwaukee.
Mhm.
So that if you have three people, that might be gang activity,
Mhm.
and that gives them options.
Mhm.
Let's but this is some of those things that we can try to change or get past again. Brian, Latoya, and I go across the street and we just have a conversation
Yeah.
in front of the gas station
Yeah.
here. Depending, they usually used to have some activity or something, and I know it's a legal activity, but one person could be doing something illegal and the other two just having a conversation, but they're considered a gang then.
I know I've saw personally just three young black men that look like me. If we're standing there talking and they ride past, the first, because I've had it happen to me, so I'm
Mhm.
speaking from experience. The first thing they think, what are they doing? So they come back around to ask you and to question you. Now, if you have something on you which is illegal, then that's when they will find it. But let's go back to the initial. Why did
Why are you
you
stopping me?
see what I'm
I
saying?
should have the right to stand and talk to my fellow brother man without two or three, however many it is, without being stopped. And if you don't see me committing a crime,
And I've had officers tell me, well, you look like, I
you
look
fit the
like what?
description. And we always fit the description of some type of incident that just happened. Don't we? Hey, I had an officer pull me over and it was so funny. Remember the Family Dollar that was up here that got burned down? So I lived right off of 25th and Hampton at the time, and I would go in there, shoot in there at night, and I took care of my mother who lived at Hampton Gardens. So I would shoot in there at night when I get off work, get a little stuff for her, and take it to her. And this evening, I happened to have all three of my kids with me, and I had a blue Jeep Cherokee. We went in the dollar store, ran and got the little stuff for my mom. It was like water, case of water, stuff like that, and was on our way to take it to her. On 22nd in Hampton, that's on like 26th in Hampton. On 22nd in Hampton, they stopped me. The police turn his lights on. I pull over. He come to my car. I give him my driver's license and my insurance. I'm like, here you go. What you stopping me for? I just he said, to be honest with you, I'm not stopping you for a traffic violation. I'm stopping you because what is your nickname? I said, what is my nickname? He said, yes, what is your nickname? What do people call you? I said, why? What is the point of that? Because, ma'am, someone just robbed that Family Dollar and they were calling the person by their nickname. And I want to know what your nickname is because your car fits the description. It was a blue SUV that they jumped into. I said, so I'm gonna rob the dollar store with my 3 kids in the car. I said, by the way, my nickname Toya. My name Latoya. Everybody call me Toy or Latoya. Or Toya. I said, so no, that wasn't the name. They don't call you something else. I said, who finna tell you if they just robbed the place what name they took? Oh, I told them to call me Pookie while I was in there robbing it. Like, come on. Yeah.
And
say that again, Kari. Okay, that's what's up. And that's who we need to be asking what they want to see in the community. These young men right here.
But we're asking everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, I actually I'm gonna push back a little bit because we do focus on the youth a lot, but we don't ask our elders what they need a little bit. And we do focus on the youth a lot, but when are we asking our elders? They have been around. They might know what they didn't like back when they were in their teens, 20s, what was good and they wanted to bring it back. And I know that society changes, but we need everybody's input and we can't focus on just one generation. I know they are the generation coming up, but we all got to live together. Right? They're our future, but we all have to live together because there's a present and there's also a past. And if you don't know your past, we might have issues or something. It's just one of those things that I love having these conversations, and I wish we could have more of them.
Every age group needs some locations where they can enjoy themselves and don't have to always fit into the same style and culture of going out. A lot of people don't want to go out here because there's no places that match the quality that they want. You got to go somewhere that's a little more urban than you are feeling, and you're not in that lifestyle no more, or it reminds you of something that happened. Some people just want a new variety. I know it's hard with getting licensed to certain places due to issues from other past companies and organization or company or restaurants and clubs and lounges. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't like to go out because they don't have anything that fits them. That's why people will do brownstone 100,000 times in a month, or any of the spots downtown, because you feel like you go somewhere else, you're gonna end up with a crowd of some snakes or some haters that you're not accustomed to, because that's not how you kick it. So I always say it's levels in Milwaukee, and it's levels and different types of obviously it's different.
You just gotta know the hood.
Yeah, but
well,
also you gotta know some people don't like to go to the hood no more. A lot of people retire the hood.
But you should be able to go anywhere you want to go and experience anything. We're going to take a little break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the things that Wisconsin Voices is going to do for the rest of the year. Start getting into it is partisan elections coming up, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit. People are announcing running already. So, and then I know you guys should be getting those door knocks because the signatures are coming up for signature collection for those seats. We'll be right back with Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
Catch Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. as we focus on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
You are now listening to Wisconsin Voices via Voice Radio.
Oh, they complaining about now. They complaining about the cover charges. To
The cover
get
charges.
in.
Oh, can I say something about that real quick, please, for the owners? Yeah, man. Over the years,
Is it
I've
a
had to
public
pay-
service announcement from Brian Sanders,
real
not
quick post-
necessarily Wisconsin?
not
Voice?
Wisconsin Voices. Y'all know that y'all need to be charging cover charges for places that have subpar crowds and subpar interactions and food and all type of stuff. Y'all be having $40 cover charges like that R&B Tuesdays over there at Miramar.
That we don't talk about. Like that.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just keeping it a buck. That okay, the R&B at some of these places and some other locations, y'all charging $40 at the door to get people in, and then you get in there. It's what am I paying $40 for? You know, ain't nothing in here that's worth $40, and I'm talking about the crowd.
You don't
in
get a
particular.
drink or anything with that.
Yeah, a drink. What? A drink?
So you paying $40 just to get in their club?
And the problem with
on a Tuesday.
Here's the thing. The problem I have with cover, you don't know what you're getting into. So if I could go look and see what the vibe is like before I pay my 40, maybe I would pay it. But I was like, I can't see.
No, give me something with the
Tamika,
40.
don't want you
What
picking
am
in
I
at all.
giving you $40 just to walk in your club for? And I still gotta buy a drink.
We have gone off the deep end of this. So
let's
go back to community. Some of the things that Wisconsin
Community
Voices
probably feel us on
all
that.
right.
Yeah, the community like that.
But a couple things that we are working on, we are putting together with another. We're not gonna say who the partner is or what, but we are putting together a spades bid whiz tournament type atmosphere.
We winning money?
No.
Oh, dang.
And
I have to whoop y'all and don't win no money.
See, this is as soon as you say spades, have you ever noticed people start talking mess right off the jump?
Right off the tape.
Oh,
But
I know I'm cold in spades.
But we want to do that with one of our partners that we have, and we're working on that. We're going to be announcing it for a May event, and we're going to make sure, because every household has a different rules. You know how you change the rules for spades and Uno. We might even have a little side Uno tournament. But what we want to do is build community, have people come, chill, hang out, get to know their neighbors, get to know people. Those are the events that Wisconsin Voices wants to do and sponsor.
Is it gonna be different rules for different tables?
No, we gonna put before you register, we gonna have house rules. So before you register to even come there, we're gonna try to do that, and it could end up being like a fundraiser for Wisconsin Voices as well as the partner, because we do have to, we're trying to support our partners as well. So in June, we really want to make sure that we represent in the Juneteenth parade. Last year we had our fire truck. This year we got something else coming up with y'all. But we really want to be a part of the community when it comes to Juneteenth. So I know right now they're taking applications for the parade. They're taking applications for the vendor spots. So let's support one of, if not the biggest Juneteenth celebration in the country.
Yes, bring some good food out there, please.
Oh,
More food. We want more food. More food.
The food.
Hey,
I
don't
love the
charge
food.
nobody no $20 or $30
For
for
no
no
lemon
dang
tea.
old turkey leg.
Well, you know you're gonna have to pay that money for them turkey legs. You know they probably paying a lot
Well,
of money
y'all,
for it.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I know y'all keep talking about cost, but here's the thing: if people pay $20, they're gonna charge $20. If people don't buy a $20 turkey leg, I bet you those
Yeah, they
prices go
they gonna
down.
pay
So
that.
it's it's
They
economics.
going down on my dad.
So
and
and then we'll go into July, which is our big. That is this. We have twice a year. We have a really big event. In February, it was our gala, and in July, it will be our community cookout. Now, let's talk about this cookout because we weren't on the radio last year, but our cookout
be the bomb.
is the bomb. We usually have about anywhere between 300 and 500 people come through. We have fresh catfish fried right there. By the way, I'm looking for vendors for bids for the catfish right there. There is a company that puts chicken and pork on a spit and rotisseries it right there. Like, and then they cut it up and we do it. We have a DJ, we have bouncy houses, we have face painting, we have a
arcade.
There's it's a guy, and he has it's called Carcade. So he has this van that he has all these old school video games, new games, any kind of video games, and kids can sit
And
there and
flat
play with him
screens,
with a big
screen.
flat screen TV. He always comes.
And you don't have to sit with him. He know how to get the kids to play with each other without arguing or one sitting too long. And we thinking we gonna have to have somebody over there with him. He like, oh no, I got this.
No, so
and they have fun.
And they have a good time. The first time we did it was at McGovern Park, which was 2 years ago. Last year, we did it in coalition with the 58th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. So we had it, and that's also the day that the Montgomery Brawl happened. So, but anyway, and then so this year we're having it in July, and we're having it at Johnson Park. We try to move it around so no one particular neighborhood gets all the privilege. We go into Johnson Park.
Say that park name right, Clarence. And Cleopatra Johnson Park.
So, do you guys have any live music and stuff like that as well?
We were looking at it. I mean, we could do any of that if somebody wants to come and play for us for a while. We have a DJ there, but if somebody want to do some live music, we really just want this to be one of those things that it builds community. We talk about civic engagement. That day will be, I believe that it'll be early voting. So we'll be working with Souls to the Polls to provide rides to the polls that day. Everything we do is always connected with civic engagement, which in our 3 pillars, which is protect democracy, build community, and teach and advocacy. That cookout is all 3. We're talking about why you have to vote and what is on the ballot, because there is a primary election August 13th. Then we send people, if they want to go vote, they can vote, and then we talk about the importance of voting. And on off seasons, we talk about civic engagement, and we have our civics 101 classes. We sign people up. So this is the big events. Um, we're planning some other stuff, but we're also trying to plan a get out the vote first time voter concert.
Nice.
Later on in the right before in October, we're going to be asking talent, local talent to come in. We're putting this out there because we're putting it into the air for when they say speak it to existence. But this is what we want to do, and we want to make sure that we have stuff we can show the people that are outside Milwaukee, that Milwaukee can have stuff. We can behave. We can do what we need to do, and you can bring those concerts. You can bring those people in and have a good time and show that we are a community that wants to see growth.
Wants to thrive.
Yeah. And everything don't have to be, but I think those are the main things that we're going to be participating in the Racine Juneteenth Day Parade. We're actually trying to help Washington County with their Juneteenth parade. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is the what we do. So this is civics, advocacy, protecting pillars, all wrapped up into one. We got about 5 minutes, 414-444-5250. But I like having these conversations. We'll get back into our partners and our special guests that we have tomorrow. Tim Schindler, co-executive director of fundraising and development.
Yeah, we're gonna have one of our partners on with him that's gonna talk about he's gonna have a talent show for the young people. So we really have a lot going on with all the stuff that we're doing and all the support that we're giving to our partners.
The last thing I want to say is that if any community if you have organizations that have community events, send your flyers, send your stuff to press at Wisconsin Voices.org. It's spelled out. We have a calendar there that we've been trying to build and put things so it can be a one-stop shop for I don't have anything to do today. Let me go on Wisconsin Voices and see what community stuff we got going on. It's press at wisconsinvoices.org. Today we are most of my team will be in training for the rest of this week. So wish us luck that we learn some good stuff and bring it back to the community. I, Latoya, and Brian will be back on Friday with y'all, but y'all got to take care of Tim. You gonna take care of Tim?
We gonna do the best we can with our brother Tim.
Okay.
We gonna make sure he's straight, and we gonna handle him right.
Well, I think Tim said that he did a radio show before, and we all novice at this, but he back in I think he said high school or college or something, he did a radio show. So I think he know what he doing, but we just he over there making us money.
Yeah.
So
hey, cut the check.
Yeah. Well, no, he getting the money for us.
Yeah,
He's our
I'm saying.
fundraising development.
Yeah, cut the check.
So I really thank the viewers. I think Latoya Khan for being on
it's
with
Pippin
me.
today.
Oh,
it could be Khan tomorrow.
but
It's the hair, yeah. She want to be sophisticated, y'all.
I do. I have a hat on.
Look, I'm talking about me. When I say stuff like that, I'm talking about me in third party. I say she want to be sophisticated this week, so
now she talking in third person. Okay, now I understand.
She gonna dress up the rest of this week since we gonna be in training. We gonna be in our little business attire. So attire.
I'll still have my sweatshirt on.
Yeah, I'm gonna relax this week too.
And Brian,
I don't feel like ironing. Ireland until you wake up, we gotta iron them dress shirts.
Yeah.
But no, man.
See, I'm good at that.
I am
hang
too,
them
though.
up to where I ain't got to worry about the ironing like that. Be just quick little creases like.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, this is Tamika, and I thank you for listening. This is Be a Voice with
Wisconsin Voices.
By the way, don't forget that building. You know, if y'all got somebody who want to donate that building, let us know. Bye-bye.